अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
I am Ade ji, please have a seat.
Thank you, sir.
Short introduction करवाएं अपना जी पहले.
Sir, my name is Mubeen Khan.
जी.
I was born and raised in Lahore. I did my preliminary schooling from a small school near my house. Did my intermediate from Government College University, and my bachelor's in electrical engineering with a major in computer science from UET Lahore.
Okay. So I'll ask a couple of questions from the era of 17th century, and we are talking about social contract philosophers.
Yes,
Any
sir.
idea?
Yes, sir.
Please name them first and then give me the salient features of philosophy. There were mainly 3 in number. No?
Yes, sir.
तो उनके बाद what were the salient features of their respective social contract philosophies which they propounded at that time?
So first one is Thomas Hobbes. He was from the United Kingdom, and the social contract given by Hobbes was primarily absolutist in its nature. He wanted a very strong centralized government who has a control over all the state affairs. And the main thing was that the only right he was giving to the people was the right to life. Second was Sir John Locke. His social contract was more liberal in its nature, and he talked about 3 main things. One was the right to have private property, another was right to life, and the third one was right to security. And the third one is Jean-Jacques Rousseau. And Rousseau gave the social contract which was based on the principle of general will. And he wanted the social contract to work in accordance to what the people desire.
Okay. Almost 100 years after that, there was another philosopher, not necessarily a social contract philosopher, but he was a political philosopher who was a very remarkable person. As far as my own understanding is concerned, probably one of the most remarkable person of the 18th century. मेरी अपनी सोची है. Behral, I'll tell you the name, and then I'll ask you the question. The name is obviously Thomas Jefferson. Okay? Thomas Jefferson. And the question which I'm going to ask is, what was the improvement which Thomas Jefferson made on the social philosophy of John Locke?
Sir,
I'll give you the clue. थोड़ा सा मुश्किल question है, but I'll give you the clue also. पहले तो आप खुद attempt करें ना इसको.
Sir, I believe Thomas Jefferson is known as the father of US Constitution.
Yes.
So, and John Locke himself was a major proponent of liberalism.
Exactly.
So, it is primarily based on the concept of liberalism.
Okay.
But I believe that what Thomas Jefferson...
It's more syntax related or more tangible kind of an improvement which he did make. The philosophy of John Locke was life, liberty and
fraternity.
property.
Yes, sir. Property is the
देखो ना,
word.
ये नहीं करो
In
ना.
case of John Locke, yes, sir.
What was the central theme of the philosophy of Thomas Jefferson? Life and liberty are common.
Yes, sir.
What was the third thing?
The pursuit of happiness.
Yes, exactly. Pursuit of happiness was the improvement.
Yes,
Because property is going to be defined in very limited terms.
Yes.
Property means state, property means lands, property means something chattel, property means livestock. So he went for a very bigger term, which is ever encompassing term. Pursuit of happiness के तो फिर unlimited माने निकल आते हैं ना. So
Yes,
this
sir.
another very small question from Pakistan in 1960s era.
Yes, sir.
What were the major developments which took place in 1960s as far as the political history of the country is concerned?
So the first one would be
Okay, if it is possible to go in chronological order.
Yes, sir. So the first one would be the 1962 Constitution, the first and only presidential constitution of our country to this day. The second would be the presidential elections of 1965 between Mohtarama Fatma Jinnah and Mr. General Ayub Khan. The elections are considered to be one of the most rigged elections in the history of Pakistan. And during their elections, the Electoral College was the basic Democrats which were basically introduced by Ayub Khan in 1959. And there were 80,000 in total. Ayub got
18
around
ke 80?
80,000 in total.
80, हाँ, yes.
Sir. Out of those, 62.3% voted for Ayub Khan, while 37.5% of them voted for
Even then,
Mohtarama Fatma.
even despite the rigged elections, almost 28,000 of those voted for Mohtarama Fatma Jinnah.
And it shows her fame at that time.
बिल्कुल.
And sir, afterwards we have the 1965 war between India and Pakistan, which continued for 17 days, in the outcome of which there was the Tashkent Declaration in 1966. And in Tashkent Declaration, from the side of Pakistan, there was Mr. Ayub Khan, and from India's side, there was Lal Bahadur Shastri, who tragically died during the Tashkent Declaration due to a heart attack.
ठीक है. चलें अभी आगे चलें. Though you are missing 2-3 major events of 60s we are talking about, my dear.
Yes, sir.
So there are 4-5 years left as yet.
Yes, sir. So afterwards, there is the the resignation of Ayub Khan in 1969, and then comes
Between 65 and 69. 69 resignation or even imposition of the martial law by Yahya Khan was
Yes,
probably
sir.
the last major event of 1960s. There
Yes.
was another massive event which took place in October. In political history, we are talking about, don't forget the original context of the question,
Yes,
which
sir.
was the political developments. October of 1967,
So I'm unable to recall it.
foundation of Pakistan People's Party.
Yes, oh yes, sir, certainly.
Remarkable.
People's Party was founded in
Sir,
October
over to you, sir.
1967.
Over to you. ये इनका profile है.
Are you doing the job anywhere?
Yes, sir. Currently, I'm serving as an AI data engineer in an American firm.
Okay. Being IT engineer, what is hexabyte and petabyte?
Sir, while I'm not sure, I personally believe that both of these are the numeric systems. One is talking about the
How many GBs are there in one hexabyte? And how many hexabytes are there in one petabyte?
no, sir, I'm not sure about it.
Okay. Business administration.
Yes, sir.
What are 7 P's of marketing?
Sir, so as per my knowledge, I'm aware of the 4 P's that were given by Philip Kotler. That includes
Philip Kotler has added 3 more
sir,
to the existing 4 P's. And those are process, people, and physical evidence. Anyway, what is the product life cycle?
So product life cycle is the perpetual cycle in which we show the introduction, growth, maturity, and the decline of a product over the course of time.
किसी भी ह्यूमन बीइंग पे अप्लाई होता है ये वाला लाइफ साइकिल?
So I believe it can apply to all human beings
कैसे?
because so initially when we are child, everyone is introduced to the basic amenities of life. Afterwards, you are going towards maturity eventually. And afterwards, when you reach a certain peak of your age, then after that you are going to receive a decline.
You are gone forever.
Yes,
Like all the products. What are various styles of leadership? And describe the laissez-faire.
So the types of leadership.
Yeah.
So these include, firstly, there is the transformational leadership. These are the leaders who work towards the transformation of the organization as well as the peoples and their culture, so that they are more participative in nature and they can take part in transforming the organization to something bigger.
Hold
Secondly,
on. What is the difference between American School of Management and that of Japanese School of Management?
sir, the American School of Management is of more adaptability and changing nature. They basically believe in constantly changing their organizations in accordance to where they can get the most out of it. On the
Do the Americans have the vertical organization or the horizontal organizations?
Sir, they are vertical in the sense of growth of the people. It is vertical, but as regards to the functionality of the organization is concerned, it is more horizontal in its nature.
Not really. They follow the Weber model more as compared to Japanese School of Management. Last question. You reside in Lahore?
Yes, sir.
How many motorways are there in Pakistan?
Sir, not sure about in Pakistan. I believe, if I'm allowed to guess, I believe it is somewhere around 12.
Where is Baltoro Glacier located?
So it is in Gilgit-Baltistan, but I'm not sure of the exact location.
Okay, sir.
Sir, आप देख लें सर, take your
Okay.
time. आप जितनी
No
मर्जी
problem.
आप कर रहे हो. Don't rush.
What is the philosophy of Ibn Khaldun about this state?
Sir, he gives this concept of social solidarity, which is also called asabiya, in his book Al-Muqaddimah, and in which he talks about the perpetual cycle in which a state develops over the course of time. In the initial era, the state has very strong asabiya or solidarity among them, and there is a strong social cohesion. As the time goes by, the asabiya is going to eventually deteriorate, and over the course of time, eventually we see a decline in the state affairs, and then they are completely disrupted.
And what is a citizen there in a state of Ibn Khaldun?
So I'm not sure about it, sir.
His role, his obligation, his other things.
So I haven't read on it, sir.
Okay. What are basically commonality between Islam and Judaism or Jews?
So all of these are Abrahamic religions, and all of these believe in
These
monotheism.
are, but I'm asking about common features. What are common features?
So the biggest common feature would be monotheism. All these religions believe in one God. The only difference is that Christianity believes in the Trinity of God. On the other hand, Judaism and Islam focus on monotheism. Secondly, would be all of these have fasting, all of these have prayers, and so all of these have holy books, their corresponding holy books. The Judaism has the Old Testament, Christianity has the New Testament or the Bible, and the Muslims have the Holy Quran.
Okay. What are the common factors between the Constitution of 1935 and 1971? 1935 Indian
The
Constitution.
Government of India
Government
Act.
of India Act.
Yes, sir.
And
So-
1971 Constitution.
So the biggest feature would be the federation system of our country. In both the constitutions, there is a concept of federation of our country. Secondly, sir, from what I have read, I believe that both of these systems had a bicameral legislature, the 1935 one and the 1971 constitution as well. And so these are the main two things that I'm unable to.
What is the difference between federation and co-federation?
Sir, a federation is a form of government where there is a strong devolution of power, and primarily a federation revolves around principle of subsidiarity, that the power is going to be devolved down to the local level, and it is going to be the local representatives who are going to solve the issues. On the other hand, a confederation is a system where a number of states are going to form a communion together, and they can.
Can you quote the example in the present day world?
Sir,
Number
the
of
European
confederation.
Union, as well as Belgium. Belgium is also a confederation.
Belgium and European
Union. Sir.
European Union. Okay. Then we come to the Pakistan. Despite having position in the top 10 countries in the production of wheat, in sugar cane, and in some other areas as well, we are still lagging behind, rolling back. Why?
Sir,
We are top producer, I believe sixth in the in the production of wheat, but still we import wheat. We are having large number of sugar mills, large area under sugarcane cultivation. We still import sugar. So what has gone wrong?
sir, there can be a number of reasons. I believe, firstly, it also depends on the practice of production. The state where we are manufacturing, where we are basically producing wheat, it might be the reason that they believe that the current practices which are being employed in Pakistan, they might be outdated and do not give the same amount of production that they can get. Secondly, sir, I believe that Pakistan has been very prone to climate change as well, which also affects a number of our
Climate
generation.
change is a recent phenomenon in the last 10 years or in so and so forth. But as far as production of wheat, it is quite sufficient with a lot of reserves, but still we face shortage. There is a very strong reason for this. Try to find it out.
Yes, sir, I'm unable to answer that.
What about smuggling? Be it to Afghanistan?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Recently, there was a great hike in the dollar.
Yes, sir.
Okay, it went up to 300 and can you quote the figure?
Sir, the last I checked, it was around 304 US dollars.
300. It went up to 336.
340 तक round हो
340.
338 340 तक चला गया.
What was the reason for that? Why the dollar? There was a huge dollar shortage there.
Sir, currently in the current sphere, de-dollarization has been happening a lot. So there might be a bit of scarcity with regards to the acquisition of dollars. That can be one reason.
But I might ask you another related question. But when the government started their stern actions, it simply dipped down to 276, 277. So what was happening to dollar in actual?
Sir, I'm not sure of the nuances.
Okay. How do you rate the, should we accept Taliban government in Afghanistan?
Sir, I do not think
What is
so.
your assessment?
Sir, I believe that if we are going to give recognition to Taliban, that would also mean giving some sort of legitimacy to their actions. And they have done a lot of things that are not going to pan out well in our own favor as well. For instance, they have banned education for women. That is certainly going to portray a message that Pakistan is a proponent of such actions. So I do not believe in endorsing a government that is taking such actions.
What is basic ethnic division in Afghanistan?
So they are primarily Pashtuns and Afghans.
No. They are Pakhtun, but there are a number of other ethnicity towards
Yes,
the
sir.
north of
So
Afghanistan.
there are people from Central Asian sites such as Uzbek. There are a lot of, there is a
Uzbeks
huge
and
Uzbek
Tajiks.
minority.
Tajiks, Uzbeks.
Yes, sir.
Okay, gentlemen. Now, some questions about what are your hobbies?
Sir, my hobbies include cricket, as well as I take part in regular educational outreach programs on behalf of my university. Even after university, I'm currently still indirectly attached to them. And so apart from these two, I regularly go for debates in different institutions, as well as I also have been taking part in.
What are your common topics of debate?
Sir, the most common topics that I have debated on, they have been related to the emergence of Pakistan, as well as how the independence of Pakistan and the independence movement has gone by.
Can you recognize that gentleman?
Sir, the one on the left or the
Name, the one on your side.
So I believe it is Plato.
Plato.
Yes, sir.
Who was Socrates?
So Socrates was the teacher of, or the mentor of Plato. During the
What happened to Socrates and why?
So he was executed by the people of the state of Athens because they believed that he was propagating false ideas among them, and their own beliefs did not align with what Socrates was teaching them at the time.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Plus, first of all, because we have conducted a very detailed interview and I've previously also interacted with you, but one last question.
Yes, sir.
You talked about Trinity in Christianity during one of the answers to one question. Is there another major religion of the world which also harbors this concept of Trinity?
Sir, I believe it is in one of the major mythologies there is a concept of Trinity.
Which mythology would
So
be
I
that?
think it is the Greek mythology. Either the Greek
No,
or
Greek
it is
में
the
तो multiple है, उसको तो pantheon कहते हैं. They have got multiple gods. Even in this, which I am trying to take a answer out of you, also has got multiple pantheon of gods. But their primordial gods are three. So hence the Trinity, hence the name Trinity. Hinduism.
Yes, sir.
And who are these primordial gods? Idea? Koi?
Sir, I have read so many Hindu gods that I am unable to think.
But these
which
are the
three
basic gods. They are basic gods. The rest of all of the gods are the avatars of these gods. Actually, these are the basic gods. Primordial जब मैं कह रहा हूँ तो basic gods है. सुन लो कभी आगे आपको काम आ जाएगा.
Yes,
The gods of the gods, or the most basic god is Brahma.
Yes, sir.
Take, and then the two others are Shiva and Vishnu. Brahma is the creator. Vishnu is the sustainer. He provides nourishment and nourishes the people. And Shiva is the destroyer. ये याद कर लेना, इसको बाद में भी देख लेना.
Yes.
ठीक है जी. Thank you very much जी. Good luck.
Thank you
very
so
much.
much, sir.
Thank you.